This is the Evil Never Dies podcast with Brett and Carl. This podcast may contain adult themes, violence, and strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Brett here with Carl. What's up, Carl?
We're here
We're here
on a
Yes.
Sunday morning.
on a Sunday morning. Yes,
Yes.
we both had shit going on yesterday, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting right into it this week, we are going to be reviewing and talking about An American Werewolf in London from 1981. So here we go. An American Werewolf in London, directed by John Landis, written by John Landis, produced by George Folsey Jr., cinematography by Robert Painter, edited by Malcolm Campbell, music by Elmer Bernstein. I think they could have did better with the score on this.
I didn't even notice the score watching it this time.
It was okay, but I think they could have did better. Production companies, Polygram Pictures,
Now,
and
they're a record label. I didn't know they made movies.
yeah, I know. They must not have stayed around very long because
Apparently not.
production companies, Lycanthropy Films Limited. I'm sorry. Distributed by Universal Pictures in the United States and Barber International Films Limited in the UK. Had a release date of August 21st of 1981, running time of 97 minutes, which I think it seems way longer than that.
It seems way longer to me.
Countries of origin, United Kingdom and the United States. English language, had a budget of $5.8 million. And it brought back at the box office $62 million. So
They made their money.
And this was pretty much a big hit back then, because you really hadn't seen a werewolf movie like this before this came out. So
Yeah, John Landis was talking shit about the Wolfman on some of the. They kind of pissed me off.
yeah, about the transformation scene.
Well, it was the 1940s, for God's sakes. What does this idiot expect? I thought it was. The Wolfman's the best werewolf movie ever made. So, John Landis, don't be talking shit. That put me in a bad mood immediately.
All right, Carl, why don't you give us the plot of the film?
Well, let's see. Well, these two here are like backpacking through England, I guess they called it at that point. Isn't that what we call it?
Yeah, backpacking through Europe.
Yeah, and they're in England, and they come across this weird pub. I forget the name of it. You're supposed to know the name of it.
The slaughtered
Lamb.
Yeah, the slaughtered lamb.
And nobody likes them, and they tell them to leave. So they go back out in the woods, and basically werewolf attacks them and kills the one guy and bites the other guy. And that's pretty much what the movie follows, is this guy transforming into a werewolf and he keeps seeing his dead friend and all kinds of other people. And I guess, I don't know if he's hallucinating or what. Falls in love with the nurse because he's in the hospital for a long time after being bit by the werewolf. And that's really about the only plot I can give you on this thing.
All
It's a
right.
werewolf movie.
It's a werewolf movie for sure.
It is a werewolf movie.
All right, let's go over the cast here. First off, we got David Naughton as David Kessler.
And he's in town this weekend in the
He
Dallas Fort Worth area.
he was up at Nightmare Collectibles signing autographs Friday night. So, which I couldn't make either.
Me either.
Next off, we got Jenny Agutter as Alex Price. She was the nurse. Griffin Dunn as Jack Goodman, and he was David's buddy, I guess, backpacking buddy.
Yeah.
John Woodvine as Dr. J.S. Hirsch. Don McKillop as Inspector Villiers. Frank Oz as Mr. Collins. You know who Frank Oz is, don't you?
Yeah.
The Muppets from the
Yeah.
Muppets.
He actually did Yoda.
Paul Kember as Sergeant McManus. Sidney Bromley as Alf.
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 Isn't he an alien that eats cats?
I think so, yeah. Frank Siganow as Ted. Will Layton as Joseph. Jeffrey Burridge as Harry Berman. Brenda Cavendish as Judith Browns. Michael Carter as Gerald Bringsley. Anne Marie Davies as Susan Gallagher. Albert Moses as Hospital Porter. Lindsay Drew as Brenda Bristols. Nina Carter as Nina, Naughty Nina. Paula Jacobs as Mrs. Kessler. Brian Glover as first chess player. Rick Mayall as second chess player. Lila Kay as the barmaid. Alan Ford as the taxi driver. David Schofield as the dart player. And Patty Ryan as the first werewolf that attacked everybody.
Yeah.
And that is the cast of An American Werewolf in London. On to the Blu-ray, and you got
There's
the 4K, don't you?
Yeah, no, this is just the Arrow Blu-ray. There's been a whole lot of the releases of this movie. I guess there was one Blu-ray came out that was actually an edited version of the movie. So, Universal put out another copy later that they called the Full Moon version. I think that's what you got.
Yeah, that's what I got. Full Moon Edition. It's like one of the very first Blu-rays to come out.
Then you might have the edited version then.
No, it's the full version.
Okay.
Uh, what is it? It's got that BD Live on it, where you
Then
could.
it is an old one. Hey, somebody just showed up behind me.
Yeah, back in the day, you could throw it in your
Computer.
computer and hi, Maddie. You could throw it in your computer and you could get like way more special features than what's on the disc itself. So, but
Yeah, I remember that. I always thought that was a cool feature.
yeah, but back then, a Blu-ray player or recorder for your computer was big bucks. So,
I had one.
did you? You spent the big bucks.
I did. Well, somewhere along the line, Arrow put out this special copy that's got like 1,000 features on it. And matter of fact, one of the best features ever is called Mark of the Beast, The Legacy of Universal Werewolf. which was produced just by Arrow. One of the best featurettes I've ever seen, I think. But I'm a big Wolfman fan. Maddie was watching Wolfman with me last night.
Was she?
Yeah, she's scared of movies. She only don't like too many scary ones. But she watched Wolfman. But she didn't watch this, did you?
Yeah, it's a little violent for sure.
She
But
didn't watch it. But yeah, this copy's got, I guess, I don't know if there's a 4K of this thing or not.
I think there is. I think there is.
Arrow probably put it out. This might have just been, I don't know when this came out, but
Let me scroll down here and see. Keep
check it
before
out. We need to go over the audio of it all.
keep talking about the Blu-ray there while I.
So this it was a 2019 restoration from the original negatives. John Landis did it. It also did an uncompressed 5.1 digital theater sound audio, and it's packed with features. Of course, John Landis does a commentary. Um, there's some weird feature called I Think He's a Jew, which is a joke from the movie. What else we got? There's an old featurette called Making of American Werewolf in London, which was sort of a short archive featurette, which was from back in the day. They talked to the makeup artist, Rick Baker. That's a good little talk.
Yeah, that's on mine too.
Yeah. There's some more archived footage with Rick Baker. So this is just packed. It's actually got 200 still photos on it as well. So
That's
this is a
cool.
really good I don't know how you could get any better than this. Now the picture quality is a little wanky on it to me.
Oh, really?
The darks don't look as good as they probably could have.
Well, maybe because mine's put out by Universal, that because I had a great picture on mine. This is
Well,
this is what the cover this is what the cover of that looks like right here.
yeah, I've
You
seen
can
that one
see it.
before.
But yeah, all kinds of I was surprised on how many special features there was on just this one. So
Yeah,
uh,
Maddie's leaving us. Say bye.
bye, Maddie.
She wanted to talk about the Wolfman, but you missed out on that one.
Uh, there's actually a radio adaptation of this
Yeah.
put on BBC Radio 1 in 1997. It featured Jenny Agutter, Brian Glover, and John Woodbine reprising the roles of Alex Price, the chess player, and Dr. Hirsch and the nurse. So
So what did you find on the other releases of the Blu-ray or
there's
DVD?
I don't see nothing,
No,
but I'm pretty sure I seen there was a 4K.
I don't know. I know I got a 4K of the Howling that I just got because it was on sale, and I found out why. They're putting out a stupid steel book of the Howling, so of course they're trying to get rid of the old ones. So I got a killer deal on that one.
Does it have the Blu-ray in it, or is it just strictly
It's just
4K?
the 4K.
Bummer. I was gonna say I would just buy it just to have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it just got the 4K.
Bummer.
But I don't know. I'm about ready to just buy me a new TV because I just don't think this TV's worth a crap. So, but this picture just didn't look good in the dark scenes. And Arrow usually they actually this is a cleaned up restoration from 2019, so it should have looked great. But oh well, it is what it is.
There is a sequel to this movie.
I have never watched the sequel.
You have never watched the sequel?
No,
Really? We'll have to put that on the list.
or not.
It's called American Werewolf in Paris.
I know it is.
And there's a little trivia about this later when I get into the trivia. There was a proposed remake too in June of 2009.
Please don't.
Dimension was working with producers Sean and Brian First to remake the film, but it's since been delayed. In August 2016, several reports suggested that Max Landis, son of director John Landis, was considering remaking the film.
Let's just not.
In November 2016, Deadline Hollywood reported that Max Landis would write and direct a remake, and then it was canned in 2017.
Good.
And then in 2019, Variety reported that Robert Kirkman was going to possibly do a reboot of it. So, but none of it ever came to fruition. So,
Oh, well,
try for the best.
probably so.
All right. This movie won some awards and was nominated for some awards. Actually won the 1982 Oscar for Best Makeup for Rick Baker.
Yeah, he deserved that.
Yes, he did. This was like only the second year that they had actually had a Best Makeup Special Effects award. It used to be just a mention before. And also the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films in the U.S. 1982 winner for Best Horror Film, the Saturn Award. Nominated Best Actress Jenny Agutter. Nominee John Landis for Best Writing. And winner for Best Makeup for Rick Baker. And also was nominated for a Satellite Award for Best Overall DVD, the special edition of American Werewolf. And
That's probably the one that was cut.
Probably.
One of them came out cut and everybody was pissed about it.
And it was nominated in 1983 for the Jupiter Award for Best International Film for John Landis. And that's the awards. All right. I guess we'll jump into some trivia here. Let's see here. Due to the controversial lack of recognition for the Elephant Man in 1980, makeup and industry technological contributions became recognized by the Academy Awards in 1980. Makeup artist was the first to receive an Oscar in the new category. William Tuttle was the first makeup effects artist to receive an honorary Oscar for his work in Seven Faces of Dr. Lau from 1964. At 31, Baker was also the youngest person to win the award ever, a record that was later tied by Tammy Lane for the Chronicles of Narnia from 2005. I can't watch that movie for some reason. I don't know.
No.
I just wasn't a big fan of that. David Naughton recalled the zoo scene as for running naked around the London Zoo in the scene where he's in the wolf cage. The only reassurance he had was that the wolves had just been fed. But the handler still said there were to be no loud noises or fast moves. Okay, I said, hopefully this will just be one take, so start rolling those cameras. We were supposed to be done by 9 a.m., but we overran. At one point, I looked up and said, wow, why have you got all those extras over there? They replied, they're not extras. The zoo's open.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were walking around the zoo. So
yeah, he was running around all over the zoo.
Buff, yeah.
Yeah. David Naughton was reportedly cast by John Landis because he'd seen him in a television commercial for Dr. Pepper. However, Naughton was later let go by Dr. Pecker.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper because of his nude scenes in the film. It was the 80s. What do you say? Rick Baker claimed to have been disappointed by the amount of time he spent shooting the face-changing shot for the transformation after having spent months working on the mechanism. John Landis only required one take lasting about 7 seconds. Baker felt that he had wasted his time until seeing the film with an audience that applauded during that 1 7-second shot. John Landis wrote the screenplay for this film while following an incident shooting the movie Kelly's Heroes in 1970. Well, he was just a gopher back then. And they were in the countryside of Yugoslavia while driving along a country road with his colleague. Landis encountered a Romanian funeral. The body was being buried in a massively deep grave, feet first, while wrapped in garlic, so he would not rise from the dead. Only 4 American work permits were requested by the British government for the production for John Landis, Rick Baker, David Naughton, and Griffin Dunn. The first 3 were granted by the British government without question, but the British Office of Actors' Equity questioned the necessity of a work permit for Dunn, claiming that they were already plenty of young American actors living in Great Britain who could portray the role of Jack. It was only when director and screenwriter John Landis threatened to rewrite the script and retitle the movie An American Werewolf in Paris that they reconsidered the application and granted Dunn his work permit. Like I said, later, a sequel, American Werewolf in Paris, was released in 1997.
Was that done by John Landis?
What's that? I
Was
don't
the
think
sequel?
so.
I didn't know. I don't know.
I don't think
Like
so.
I said, I never paid any attention to that one.
All righty.
I will say that John Landis, the Blues Brothers is one of my favorite movies of all time that he did. So just a shout out for the Blues Brothers.
You big fan of Animal House?
It's okay. I think Blues Brothers is way better, but just some
Well,
shout outs to John Landis for his other work I wanted to throw in there.
well, he took him 10 years to get this ball rolling for this movie because he started writing the script for this in 1969. So,
Did not know that. Yeah.
yeah, so almost 10 years in the making there. So, uh, what was I going to say? I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, well, he'd come right off of Animal House into making this. So that's why, is it a comedy or is it a horror movie? Or is it a horror movie and a comedy?
I call it more of a comedy.
You think so?
I do. I think there's just a lot of silliness in the movie. Hey, look at him. He just showed up.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it's more of a comedy.
John Landis stated in an interview that his inspiration for the film was from the 1941 Wolfman,
That he talks
starring
shit about. Don't ever talk bad about the Wolfman in front of me.
in which unusually the werewolf was portrayed as a victim. Films tend to show the transformation from man to wolf through dissolves, but he wanted to capture how painful the entire process would be and make it painful to watch. Although the film did have a lot of comedy, I wanted to treat the violence realistically to make it as terrible as violence always is. Which he did. That was a pretty brutal scene, the transformation scene.
It was, but there was way too much comedy in this thing, in my opinion.
It was like a lot of inside jokes.
As a kid, I didn't get them, and as an adult, I just didn't like them. I kind of wish he would have stuck this thing a little more serious. But it is John Landis, and he had his own. He has his own. What do you call it? Style. So it fit his style really well. But I do feel like it's got too much comedy in it. And now y'all know I'm a big fan of Evil Dead 2 and Chainsaw 2, and I don't mind the horror comedy element from time to time. But this was just a bit too comedic. So I call it more of a comedy.
All righty.
You know, sort of like Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is a scary movie, but it's more of a comedy.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that element, but I think for this movie, I think John Landis could have made it a little bit more serious. Those jokes were stupid.
At 54 minutes, the cat on the window ledge was prompted to hiss at David by holding up another cat towards its face. I guess that'll get a good hiss out of a cat for sure.
Well, they certainly ain't scared of possums and raccoons, so you got to get another cat. Yeah. I'm
Direct.
still running a zoo over here, Brett.
Oh, yeah.
I got this big fat raccoon, and it's my friend now.
Oh, yeah.
We're buddies.
Is the possum still out there too?
I had 5 out there the other night.
Really?
Yeah,
They must be coming from all over.
I think so.
Uh, Director John Landis had to avoid filming any full frontal nudity of David Naughton during the transformation scene and dream sequences after Naughton informed Landis that he was not circumcised, even though his role, David Kessler, was written as being Jewish.
Yeah, that's the whole Jewish whatever special feature on the DVD.
Gotcha. Rick Baker plays one of the Nazi werewolves in the nightmare sequences, specifically the one who slashes David's throat. Griffin Dunn stated in 2007 that his biggest fear was that his mother, who was ill at the time, would not be able to handle seeing a film where her son appeared to be a mutilated corpse. When she finally saw it, she was deeply disturbed by it. I bet she was.
I bet so.
This is John Landis's personal favorite film of his own. John Landis wanted bad weather for this movie, so he purposely shot the movie in February and March. According to the production notes, the Welsh town of Crickadarn had snow, sleet, rain, and extensive sunshine all in one day. Sounds like fucking Texas.
It does, don't it?
This caused problems for David Naughton because he was told to run as if it were warm. That's rather difficult to do because it's cold and you have no shoes on. And I didn't jog in bare feet in any weather, even back in California, he said. That's the hardest part. You're running in a wooded areas on slick paths, trying not to look like going ooh ah ooh ah ooh. They were saying, "Come on, it's warm. This is just a dream. You're leaping like you're a deer." So I just had to go for it. He said, "That would suck
Yeah.
running through the woods barefoot like that."
Yeah, I wouldn't like that at all.
John Landis has reported that when he was approving a high definition transfer of the film for DVD in the mid 2000s, he was taken aback on how gory the film actually was. Like he hadn't seen it before it was on DVD.
Apparently. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like VHS. I don't know. Or maybe it just been a while since he'd watched it, you know. It's been a long time since I watched it till now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. The episode of The Muppet Show from 1976 playing on the television during David's nightmare sequence is Senior Wentz's 1980, but the portion shown was never shown in the US. This is why Americans often assumed it to be a fake episode and why Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog are credited. That must be another nod to Frank Oz.
I guess it is.
The final look of the werewolf was based on makeup director Rick Baker's Quiche Hound, which was a Harrier dog and kind of almost wolf-like. A lot of times I'd look in the mirror and I'd make faces and kind of like be working on sculptures, and it looks like me and my dog was there. So I was like, okay, he's kind of wolf looking, you know, so he's got 4 legs, he had this big mane of hair, which was wolf like. So yeah, the werewolf was very much based on his dog Bosco.
Bosco.
Bosco the Keyshound. Unlike most motion pictures, this film was filmed in sequence. You sort of had to with the makeup effects, though.
I would think so. Yeah.
especially with the one guy because he kept getting more rotted as
He
time went
kept getting
on.
rotted. Yeah.
Reason why John Landis chose London as a setting was because London was horror central, of course, home of Jack the Ripper, Jekyll and Hyde. So I wanted all that Victorian Gothic, but I also wanted to show the real London of 1981, and also because they got the break on the cost of the movie too. Griffin Dunn recalled stopping to use the facilities in the sole trailer with a restroom, only to be interrupted partway through when a driver hooked it up to a pickup truck and towed it away from the set with him still inside. Oh, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Probably pissed all over the place. David Naughton and Griffin Dunn both shared makeup memories, including Dunn finding himself incredibly depressed first time he had to go had the onstage one makeup applied during effects in California. I looked like I'd been killed just a few minutes earlier, and it was really unsettling. Naughton remembers walking through Piccadilly Circus with Dunn in the final stage of makeup. People were clearing a nice big path, he recalls. The Porn Theater, as written by John Landis in 1968, was supposed to be a theater that showed old cartoons. By the time he shot the film in 1980, the theaters in London were replaced by porn theaters. So he adjusted the script accordingly. What a stretch going from cartoons to porn.
Right. Yeah.
John Landis advised Griffin Dunn that the key to the character of Jack Goodman was that he was always to be encouraging, optimistic, and cheerful as a member of the undead, no matter what his stage of ghastly corporeal decay, deterioration, and decomposition. Dunn claimed to have found this requirement to be difficult, as he was for the first time in his life seeing what he would look like as a rotting, mutilated corpse.
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
John Landis wanted a weird, eerie ambiance for the night shots. He stated so that wolf howl you could hear was actually made up of about 9 different animal sounds, including a wolf, a lion, a panther, and even a locomotive. The other sound you hear after the first attack on the moors was actually a pig farm recorded from a distance. It was just something to make the audience say, "What the hell was that?" I wonder if that's the pig sounds was when he was chewing up the guy.
Could have been.
East Proctor is in reality the tiny village of Crickadarn. And the Slaughtered Lamb Pub is actually a cottage located in Crickadarn, about 6 miles southeast of Boothwells, Wales, off of A470. The Angel of Death statue seen outside the slaughtered lamb was a prop added for the film, but the red phone box was real, though the Welsh road signs were covered by a fake tree. John Landis fought hard to secure the rights to the Cat Stevens song Moonshadow to use in the film because the film dealt with the supernatural and the undead and werewolves, and also because of the graphic nature, violence, graphic violence. Stevens, who had since converted to Islam, had his name changed to Yusuf Islam, refused Landis's request. Yusuf objected to the themes and subject matter, did not want his song connected anyway to the film. John Landis thought this was hilarious because, as he pointed out, Moonshadow is actually about killing and dismemberment. Landis thought that this song was perfect for the movie, but Stevens had other ideas. Well, fuck Cat Stevens then.
Yeah, exactly. The heck with Cat Stevens. Nobody likes him anyway. I guess I'm just talking shit now. I am.
Given
Look,
given the
here real
transformation,
quick. I'm gonna go see that this week. Black Phone 2.
Oh yeah, it's out. It came out Friday. That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Given the transformation had to be realistic, Rick Baker approached it from a scientific point of view. Humans and wolves were both vertebrates, both mammals. As such, most components of their skeletons are homologous to each other. This way, I decided to approach the transformation as though comparative anatomy. Baker explained to Cinefex, I didn't have a wolf skeleton in my collection, but I had a dog's, and that was close enough. Comparing it to human, you find that many of the bones are similar. It's just that the proportions are different. I made a list of the differences, what major changes were made, whether this got shorter or that got longer, then figured out how he would get a suit out of this. In later stages, that made sense. So that was pretty cool the way they did that with his spine popping out like that.
Yeah, the spine popping out was a cool thing. Cool
After
effect.
filming was completed, the whole crew danced in a circle around David Naughton, who was still in his werewolf makeup on the floor singing, I'm a werewolf, you're a werewolf. Wouldn't you like to be a werewolf too? As a throwback to his days as pitchman for the Dr. Pepper commercials.
Okay.
That's funny. Michael Jackson was so bowled over by this movie, most especially by the makeup and visual effects, he insisted on hiring the responsible personnel for his planned music video, Michael Jackson's Thriller from 1983. When John Landis agreed to direct his first music video that he ever did, he brought on board foremost werewolf crew, including Robert Painter, Elmer Bernstein, Rick Baker, and Deborah Nabulman. So
That's
that
more
was a
than a
good,
music video. That's like its own movie.
yeah, I know. It was very good.
I still like watching Thriller, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Did a really good job on it. David Naughton revealed that the hospital bed in the forest scene was the most difficult and painful because of the glass contact lenses he used. That was fucking creepy as shit, too. Jenny had Jenny Agutter joked in a 2002 interview that the day she shot the nude shower scene, the crew seemed to double in size. All of a sudden, there were men she had never seen before standing around pretending to do things as she took off her clothes and pretended to wash herself. She was a good looking woman back in
He
1981.
was, yeah,
Let's
definitely
see.
so.
The transformation scene where David falls on all fours as his back mutates, showing bones crackling and rearranging themselves, was built from the lower neck to the glutes. And this involved various pneumatically maneuvered spine and bone shapes, the independent vertebrae mechanisms, as well as moving shoulder forms. The airlines of the rams all converge at a large plywood board. Subtle transforming effects were also provided by small bladders, included within overlapping layers beneath the skin. It was also the most complex puppet of the sequence and needed at least 10 or more crew members to operate it in proper coordination. Yeah. It took like four or five people just to do the head.
Right.
Rick Baker and John Landis had several disagreements over what the design of the werewolf should be. Baker wanted it to be two-legged werewolf, saying that he thought werewolves as being bipedal. Landis wanted a four-legged hound from hell. The werewolves in The Howling from 1981 were depicted as bipedal, which that's on the list too.
Yeah, and like
Actually,
I said, I just got a 4K of The Howling, so I've always sort of compared The Howling to American Werewolf in London, I guess because they came out so close and the effects are very good in both. So, yeah,
yeah, and Dee did a great part in that movie
yeah,
too.
yeah.
It was a toss up between this and that we were going to do this week. So,
And Brett couldn't find The Howling offhand, I don't think.
well, it was on streaming,
But you got the Blu-ray
but
of
I got the
this. That
Blu-ray. So,
okay. We'll do
uh,
The Howling soon.
Jack picking up the Mickey Mouse figurine and saying in a high-pitched voice, "Hi, David," wasn't scripted but made up on the spot by Griffin Dunn. David Naughton points out how confident Landis was in Rick Baker's spectacular makeup effects work during Jack's first undead visit. There's no shadows, it's just bright lights and get as good a look as you can. Awesome makeup, man. Awesome makeup. Let's see here. At 3 minutes, Griffin Dunn and David Naughton improvised saying goodbye to the sheep at the beginning. Would they say bye, ladies?
Yeah. How creepy my Frankenstein head looks today. He's
Oh,
looking
you took him
almost.
back off
Yeah,
because you'd sent me a picture saying you'd fixed him.
he's fixed.
Griffin Dunn had never done a feature film before and didn't even audition for this one. But only a 10-minute talk with John Landis, along with a quick read of the script, got him the role of Jack. David Naughton recalls similar situation, but this conversation Landis mentioned the Dr. Pepper commercials. He was a pepper and I was a pepper, so we hit it off, Naughton recalled. And also Griffin Dunn, I guess John Landis asked him if he was claustrophobic, and he sort of stalled for a second, like saying he didn't, because he didn't know if he was or not, you know. So he just said no,
Yeah.
because you got your whole face covered in that stuff for a couple hours at a time, you know.
I know a lot of the silicone mask that, I used to wear, a lot of people would flip out in those.
For sure. I can't wear them things for sure. Plus, they're too sweaty.
Never bothered me.
When David calls home to speak to his family, he speaks to his sister Rachel. During the conversation, they talk about their brother Max. Max and Rachel are the names of John Landis's children. Let's see here. Polygram executives John Peters and Peter Goober hoped John Landis would cast Dan Aykroyd in the role of David and John Belushi as Jack.
Now
John,
that would have been good.
now that would have been a total comedy for sure.
I would have liked that.
That would have sort of
Well,
been
actually, that would have been fucking brilliant, man.
uh
I wish they had it. That would have been great.
maybe would have been sort of like an opposite of what do you call it? Abbott and Costello meet the Wolf Man.
No, I don't think so. I mean, again, look at Ghostbusters. It's if you took Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray out of that, it would be more of a serious horror movie. Except for Rick Moranis, I guess, but he was an idiot.
But
I think it would
Belushi,
have worked. I like that.
yeah, sort of might have been cool.
Especially if Belushi's the dead guy and his skin's falling off of him.
Belushi and Aykroyd were too busy working on Neighbors, so they wouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
Well, they wasted an opportunity because Neighbors is one of the worst movies them two guys made.
David Naughton kept the red puffer jacket he wore at the beginning. Griffin Dunn also kept his green puffer jacket. One of the two werewolf films to win an Academy Award for Best Makeup. Rick Baker won both times, the second being The Wolf Man from 2010. They wanted Rick Baker to do the makeup effects for the Howling too, but
Didn't work out.
well, he went and told Landis that, I guess, and Landis said, "Fuck that, you're doing my movie." Let's see here, because they'd worked together on what was that ape movie did? Were the guys the ape?
I have no idea. I didn't know they made an ape movie.
It was before it was like his first or second Landis's first or second movie, and it was an ape, and and it was sort of like a playoff on King Kong, but the girl was blind and she thought the ape was a dog.
I do remember that. Yeah. I don't even know what that was called.
Jenny Agutter said in 2015 that she almost turned down the role because she wasn't keen on horror films, but she's equally happy she was won over to what became a cult classic.
Definitely that.
Let's see here. What all do I got left here? Let's do some short ones here. John Landis's favorite line from the film was please remain sane, at least until you're no longer our responsibility," which he would say to both David Naughton and Griffin Dunne during filming. As production approached, John Landis repeatedly asked Griffin Dunne if he was claustrophobic. And like I said earlier, he said he didn't know, so he said no.
Yeah, you already mentioned that.
Let's see. The attack scene where Griffin Dunne just going for it with the screams because he knew that it was what John Landis wanted. Dunne noted that it was just half of wolf. It was just half a wolf on a wheelbarrow, but the primitive nature of the effect was buoyed by the intensity of the performance. The fake porno movie see you next Wednesday was the first thing to be filmed during production. So they actually filmed that for the movie. That's cool. That's about all I got. We talked about a bunch of this stuff already. So,
Yeah, I think we've covered it plenty.
all right. You go first this week.
Well, I think everybody already knows that I've got a few issues with the movie because I just thought it was too silly in parts and it should have been a little more serious. But I do know John Landis's style, so I overlooked that, I guess. I just always found this movie to be slow and moving just so. It just, like you said, it feels like it's 3 hours long. Um, the storyline's okay, but it gets weird. This movie just kind of gets strange to me. Now, the effects are top notch. Probably some of the best special effects to this point. Maybe to this day, because it's all practical effects. Rick Baker was fucking brilliant. Should have won the Academy Award. I'm gonna say this is one of the best effect movies ever. What do you think of that?
Okay. I would have to agree.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just some silly crap to it. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's never been one of my favorite movies as far as just it's more of a put it in the background and watch movie for me. So I don't know what else to say about American Werewolf in London. Maybe I'm more of a Howling person. I don't know.
Okay. Uh,
I think I'll just have to give it a 3.
okay. So
I don't
3, huh?
dislike it, but it just bugs me that it's so silly and I think it should have been more serious. Now, if Belushi and Aykroyd were in it, it would have been the greatest movie ever made.
All righty.
So I don't know. This is just not my favorite movie, but I don't dislike it.
Did you see this in the theater when it came out?
No,
Okay. I did.
of course you did. You saw everything in the theater. I
And
know you like it.
it was really freaky back then, especially when it first came out,
Oh yeah,
because they hyped this up big time.
I remember it being hyped up big time.
They put a lot of money in marketing on this for sure.
I
Uh,
think it's the curse of Universal. They still cannot.
get a
Um,
decent werewolf movie made
nope.
again.
After the Wolf Man, and they can't do anything decent. They've never been able to build their legacy monsters into anything modern. So I
Okay.
don't know, man.
But anyway,
I think I'm gonna buy Universal and fix all this.
okay.
So I know you like this movie, Brett. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I do like it. Special effects, like we said, best ever in my
I
opinion.
think it is the best ever.
Uh,
Honestly do.
if I probably would have went into special effects back in the day if other things hadn't have changed. So, uh, I guess that's why I got into the haunt business later on in life,
Makes sense. Yeah.
sort of making up for lost time.
Yeah, that makes a
Uh,
lot of sense, actually.
uh, but the cinematography, even the dark scenes, they did a great job on. There was just enough light where you could see what was going on, but it was still had that very dark effect to it. Love that of it. Um, the storyline, though,
It's not very good, man.
uh, I think he, I think he spent so much time on it.
He
He,
did, and that's
he,
what makes it slow.
yeah, he probably should have maybe updated it towards the end there before he actually did the movie, maybe.
And the ending is so abrupt to just like boom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes you think there's going to be a sequel, sort of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I especially I could see that watching it back then, since we were in sequel world by the time this came out.
Exactly. But yeah, I've always liked this movie. I think it still holds up today. It is a cult classic.
It is.
Uh, I'm giving it a 4.
There you go.
But
I mean, I gave it a 3. I didn't want, I'm not saying it's not bad. It's just always sort of, it's just too slow for me.
Rick Baker gets a 10
Rick
for sure.
Baker gets a 10
For
and
sure.
maybe the greatest of all time.
Exactly. So, oh, did you know Joe Rogan has the actual full size wolf in his studio?
Did not know that.
Yes,
That's
he
pretty
does.
cool to know.
Given to him by Rick Baker when Baker was on the show.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, we need somebody like that to come on and give us something like that.
Right.
But yeah, I'm giving it a 4. Uh, I'll,
Can't argue with you.
I usually watch this, I don't know, every couple of years or so.
Well, I do want to give that Mark of the Beast, The Legacy of Universal Werewolf a 5. That feature's worth this Blu-ray alone for me.
Yeah, the Blu-ray is a 5 too, for sure. Lots of good special features on it. Very impressed by it.
Yeah.
So, uh, I don't know if you can even still get this copy or not,
I don't think you can. I think the Arrow one is the main. And like I said, there may be a 4K. I don't know.
but all right. You got anything else about American Werewolf in
No,
London?
that's all. I'm glad we finally covered it because I know this has been one we've been wanting to do for a long time.
Another one to check off the list. So,
Even though it's October, we don't really celebrate Halloween since we do horror movies year round. But I wanted to do a werewolf movie for October, so we have
yeah, next week we're going to do
something special
something special.
with
And
a
we
very
got,
special guest.
well, that's coming out on Halloween Day. That's coming out.
Are we doing that in 2 parts?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Next week we're doing the first part, and
and
then
then the
the
second part.
is coming out on actual Halloween Day.
I
So
was going to talk to you about that. We need to definitely break this into 2 parts.
yes, for sure. Otherwise, it would be too long.
Yeah, I don't like the long shit.
Because the first part is going to be long enough as it is because there's a
Yeah,
lot to cover. So,
yeah,
but
I like that. So we got something special coming for Halloween, even though we don't celebrate Halloween on the show since we're always in Halloween mode.
so all right, everybody, check us out on all the social medias. Check out Screamify, $2.99 a month.
Check it out. Yeah, there was some movie I was watching on Screamify last night.
There's all kinds of good stuff on there.
Somebody wants to say bye before we go.
Buddy,
Bubby.
Bye.
Bubby,
What?
I just beat a grandma and sorry.
Ooh,
Ooh, cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. All right, everybody. Yeah, the Screamify
yeah,
for $2.99 a month, you can't beat that, man. And plus, you can listen to us on the app on there.
can listen to us.
So all
Maddie was
right.
listening to the show last night, the Evil Talk. She wanted to hear Greg say it.
6, 7.
Yeah, because
Six.
Greg does say that in the show.
Oh My granddaughter says 6'7" all the time.
All the kids do.
6'7".
Did she say it right?
She's a big basketball fan anyway, so. All right.
Well,
Me, I hate basketball.
oh,
Well, that's where that saying comes from. So,
No.
she'll
All
say
right.
it anyway.
all right, everybody. We will talk to you next week. And
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
La 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 la. Isn't this fun? Lovely stroll on the moors.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
What is it?
You think it's a dog?
Nice doggy. Good boy.
What happened to them?
Well, the police report said they were attacked by an escaped lunatic.
A wolf. My friend Jack was just here. Told me that I will become a monster in 2 days.
Your dead friend, Jack.
Yes.
Gotta believe me, David.
Believe what? You're one of the undead, and I'm a werewolf.
Tomorrow night's the full moon. You're gonna change.
A what?
You'll become.
I know. A monster.
A naked American man stole my balloon.
What?
What did I do last night?
You don't remember?
The last remaining werewolf must be destroyed. It's you, David.
Good Lord.